So here we have one of these Hotpoint Portacool air conditioners. This is also known as a General Electric Carry Cool or a Crest air conditioner. I think they had some branded Fetters. They had some branded, what was that other thing? I can't remember. I know there's another brand. There's probably a bunch of other brands. But this one is the Hotpoint version. I always thought it was kind of cool looking, especially from the outside. I saw them as out from the outside, like, you know, in houses. I always thought they were cool. That's what it looks like. And it says Hotpoint, obviously, on the outside. Very neat. And I got this unit from a, what do you call that kind of place? A Habitat for Humanity. A while back, and yeah, the cord, it's going to sit on the cord. There's nothing we can do about that. I got it from the Habitat for Humanity a while back. I saw it in the back of the shop in the area for the stuff that wasn't for sale. I asked about it, and they said, well, they said, well, we can't sell it to you because it hasn't been tested. I said, well, I don't care if it works or not. I'm buying it. And they said, well, come back. I think it was on Friday. It was 2 days later. Come back, and it'll be for sale. So that's what I did. Unfortunately, they wouldn't sell it to me as is. Tested, and apparently it did work. And so here it is. Oh God, are we gonna go through this with the focusing camera again? There we go. Manufacture date is 1 of 86. And 4,000 BTUs, R22, 7.25 ounces, oil 220 cc, I guess. I have no idea. 5.4 EER, which is pretty bad. Not that I care. So unlike most air conditioners, this has, of course, a regular fan, and I believe it's connected to the outside one through one motor. In fact, I know that it is. And it says something there. It says this side out. And one thing I don't like about this too much is you can see that's very close. It's not hitting. And it's not dangerously close. These would normally have a cover there. That plastic cover that would sit there. This has spine fin coils, so you can see. And this unit, of course, the front cover, the filter was just all falling apart, and I still need to get a filter. It's not as important on these spine fin units as it would be on one with a regular, radiator type thing. It really pinched my hand there, but it's still important because you can see it get stuffed in there. One thing about spine fins is they're always going to look messed up. I never really was. Yeah, these are in good shape. Never really was a. I always thought they were cool. I always wanted one, but you know, these carry cools don't have too good of energy flow. This was starting to get molded plug disease. Might as well replace that at some point. We'll go ahead and plug it in here. I'm going to have to unplug our lousy garbage unit. I don't like using modern air conditioners. I have a bunch of vintage ones. Make sure it's in the off position. It is. I get this plug to fit in there. And my faceplate's falling off this outlet. Oh, for Christ's sakes. Try to plug something in, the building starts falling apart. There we go. And let's try it on low fan first. There's hardly any airflow here. Slowly gets better. And the only, it like doesn't blow it worth a crap even there. That's the most airflow. So it always has to be on high. And there's still not that great of airflow on the back. not there either. But that's just how these carry cools are. When I got it, I took it and completely cleaned it. So let's do low cool. Compressor's not on. I'll kick it on. I gotta figure out. I think the compressor's over here. So let's fire the compressor up. So there it goes. Compressor runs. It doesn't sound bad. It does get cold. It is about 67 in here. Really, it doesn't seem that cold. And then this right now is blowing at about 67, huh? I'll give it a minute. This unit runs just fine. But one thing about it is, like, I've put it in windows overnight. It doesn't matter if it's a little tiny room or a huge room. It's well insulated, whatever. All of that crap. It'll work for about 2 or 3 hours. At max cool, low cool, it doesn't matter. It'll work for about 2 or 3 hours and the room will cool down. But after that, it'll freeze up. The coils will freeze up solid. So it won't get any airflow and then it'll just get worse and worse. So I don't know if it's low on refrigerant or what's going on, but that's why I'm not using it anywhere. You can hear that compressor. It doesn't sound great, but it doesn't sound terrible. I think it's getting cold, definitely, yeah. So, yeah, it's 67 in here. I'm reading about 52 and dropping on the coil. 49. 48. So yeah, it's still getting colder. It's still getting colder, it seems. Let's see what the outside temperature is. The hot side, what is this called? The condenser coil. We're at 82, 83, it's 67 in here. 70. And we're reading 85, 86. Still climbing. Slowing down now. No? Really? No lies, it's right on the air conditioner. That is very hot. So see, I think that's the thing about this unit. It gets hotter and hotter on the outside and colder on the inside. And it gets to where, you know, it's colder and colder and colder until eventually it just freezes up. No matter where on the coil, I think it's 108, 111. It's colder towards that side, because that's where it goes back to the compressor. But I seem to get about 115, so let's say 115.1. Well, still getting colder. Yeah, here we got 67. It's colder than that for sure. 59, 58. .8 is where that stopped. So say 115 and 58. Figure, you do the math, figure out the delta T from there, and then really, yeah, there we go. 67 was what it was in here on the cold side. That whole thing's heating up this room. Yeah, the whole thing, it's heating it up because it puts out a lot more heat than it does cold. But anyway, we'll say 71 is what it is in here. And then you figure out the delta T, and then figure out 50, what did I say, 56, whatever I said, from 71. And that's how cold it is, or how many degrees it's cooling. I don't know. It's too late to do the math. Maybe some point. But anyway, basically the unit works fine, but then it decides that it's gonna freeze up. I don't know why. I mean, if it would just work like this, it'd be beautiful. I mean, it's cold. It works great. But it just won't continue to run like this. I just noticed something. That's even on low cool. Let's turn it up to high cool. That turns the fan up. We got a bit better airflow. It's still just as cold. Yeah, this thing would do great if it would not freeze up. But it just freezes up. I don't know why. I'll pull the grill back off if I can find that little screwdriver. Here we go. Damn you. You see, the fan works good enough. It's such a big fan, it doesn't have to spin at a very high RPM. It says 7.5 amps. Yeah. Of course, it's going to be... Here's something we might be able to look at. I've got a manual or something. I don't know. Let's see. So, temperature difference check data. What? Fahrenheit. Evaporator air temperature, so that would be the inside. Evaporator max outside. What? That makes no sense. Ah, there's your replacement part item. So if anybody's working on a carry cool, a porta cool, I forgot the name of the other one. But anyway, there was the information you might want to know. So let's make one more temperature check now that it's on. Where'd I put the thermometer? So wall, we've got 83 because of the heat blowing on it. But over here, 69, good enough. The temperature coming out, we got 56, 52. 59, 66, 52, 49, 52. It seems to be about 52 in most spots. Air coming out is about 52. We got 114, 117, and rising. 114 would be the accurate one. The reason it rises like that is because the end of the thermometer heats up. So that's the reasoning for that. As for the reason why it freezes up, I have no idea. I wish it didn't. I would use this unit. I've cleaned it. I've cleaned the coils. I've done almost everything I can to try and get this unit to work right, but it won't. I mean, it's hot outside, it's cold inside, the lines don't freeze up when you first turn it on, which is normally when they do if the refrigerant's low. I just think it's because of this poor airflow, but they all have poor airflow. It should be enough airflow to let it work, I would think. Yes, I know, it's bad for them to flip them around when it's running. That can kill the compressor, but you know what? I didn't break it, did I? It's still running, isn't it? It's still cooling, isn't it? It's not making any weird noises, is it? The lights didn't go out, did they? Nothing is on fire, is it? No, I didn't damage it in any way. Anyway, that's the carry cool. That's just fan only. That's off. You can see the spin down time of the fan. It's still going, and it just stopped. One reason this might have low refrigerant levels is because they use glue instead of brazing the joints, which I don't really like. Anyway, that's this thing.